As Bostonians prepared to make their way to the polls last week, students, many of which who can't vote here, watched the election from afar. On campus, these students expressed their concern for college-facing issues like housing and diversity in the city.
A lot of housing around Northeastern is Section 8 housing. So specifically, we want to see some change in the policies regarding how universities interact with the communities around them in a positive or negative way. I live off campus in East Boston as well, so of course housing affects me very, very closely, in terms of my price and the cost of living in Boston.
Crawley, a sophomore, and Sebastian Chavez, a junior, both believe that diversity is a key element of this election.
For me, personally, as an international student, I think that diversity and cultural inclusion is really important. Because I feel that Boston is one of the most segregated cities in the United States.
Diversity aspect of it is probably one of the most interesting parts of this election. That's what I'm keeping my eye for as well. Yeah.
For other students, like Sanel Cutler, a freshman, making transportation more affordable and accessible while working towards greener energy options was top of mind. On those issues, Michelle Wu was a popular candidate.
I would say transportation is kind of big for me. I know Michelle Wu supports reduced fare public transportation and free public transportation for a lot of people that are sort of underserved in the community. To see more green energy policies for Boston. I know we're a really progressive city, but I think there's still a lot more that can be done. And I think that as mayor, she would have more power to enact more progressive policies and do stuff that's better for the environment.
For students living in the city, voting requires giving up registration in their hometowns, which many would rather not do, especially those in battleground districts.
I am eligible to vote in Boston, but I'm actually still registered in Virginia, and I decided to stay registered there this election season.
Regardless of whether they can vote, students will see the impact of the new mayor's policies in Boston.
I think university students often don't realize how much city policy impacts them, because we always think that we're here temporarily and that our home is back where we came from. But I think the city, since we're so mixed in with the city here, we have a lot of we interact a lot with city policy and what the city's doing, and they have a bigger impact than students realize, I think.